Is this the real life?
Is this just fantasy? Jokes, it's Nerdazons!
So this episode, unfortunately Angie couldn't be here, so we've got Maz who's going to fill in.
Hi everybody, nice to be here.
So Maz and I worked together and I was training you.
Yes.
And I have a hideous Doctor Who tattoo.
It's beautiful, actually, just saying.
And I remember I was drinking out of my TARDIS mug.
Oh my god, yes. So, pause. A funny story. So, she's sitting next to me. Her TARDIS tattoo is huge. It's all on her wrist. Me, completely just being me, did not see the tattoo. So, she goes to pick up her TARDIS mug and I'm like, oh, is that like a TARDIS mug? You love Doctor Who? She's like, yes, as you can see my TARDIS tattoo. And I was like, yes, valid point.
And then we became like best friends ever since.
Yeah, hashtag West Besties, and then now hashtag Real Life Besties.
Yay! All right, so this episode we're talking all things Susperia from the 1977 film through to the 2018 film.
Yes, Luca giving us life.
Okay, so Susperia, like I said, was in 1977. Mm-hmm. I watched this on Tubi. Tubi. Tubi is a new streaming service that's free. It's got like
buttloads of films,
but they are
that'll do.
But they're mainly like not even F grade. They're worse than F grade movies.
Oh, like your B grade, like you're awesome, like they're so bad, but they're just so good.
Yeah.
Gotta love those.
And so that's how I watched this movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit what it's about.
Yes, so we're going to do the context first, and then we'll get into like our little opinions and our analysis.
I think our listeners know how it goes. If you listen to the podcast, you ought to understand.
Ouch, guys. Can someone have my back, please?
I think she needs an ice pack for that sick burn.
Ouch.
Okay, so Susie Bannon travels to Germany to perfect her ballet skills. She arrives at the Tanz Dance Academy in the pouring rain and is refused admission after another woman is seen fleeing the school. She returns the next morning and is let in this time. She learns that the young woman she saw fleeing from the previous evening, Pat Hingle, has been found dead. Strange things soon to begin to occur. So Susie becomes ill and is put on a special diet. The school becomes infested with maggots, odd sounds, and Daniel, the pianist, is killed by his own dog. A bit of research indicates that the ballet school was once a witch's coven. So this is directed by Dario
Argento, I think.
Argento, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The first thing about this is that it is so colourful.
Yes. Oh my god, the contrast of colours. So I think we're obviously talking back in the 70s, 80s.
77.
77, okay, my bad. Late 70s, 80s. So obviously then you don't have what we have now, like these awesome graphics, you know, really like amazing CGI. So they had to depend on like those, you know, intense colours, the soundtrack.
Yes, but I've never seen a scary movie that has so much colour.
True,
and
very true.
I have to say that the score for this movie is something like I've never heard before.
Oh my god, creepy AF.
It's actually by a band called Goblin.
Yes, they were talking about like the pop synth music. Very like Stranger Things. It gave me that kind of vibes.
Yes.
So good.
And this movie I saw was dubbed. I was watching, I think I was actually watching this movie with you.
Yeah, we were watching it together.
Rude! And we were wondering why the voices didn't match up, and that's obviously because it's a French film. And it's dubbed over. And doing a bit of research for this movie, I actually found out that it is part of a trilogy.
True, yes, the mothers, which we will go into.
Yeah, so you've got the three mothers consisting of Susperia, Inferno, and the Mother of Tears. And apparently Dario's granddaughter is planning on making a fourth film.
Ooh, put that on to watch list.
Absolutely. It was so creepy, and the fact that when the girl was in the beginning, when the girl was looking out the window, and I remember going, something's gonna happen, and nothing happened.
Oh my god!
And then nothing.
Exactly.
And then when it finally happened, it was so scary. And then having like the girl fall from the building and she being hung and all her guts taken out, like it was pretty graphic.
Yeah, really intensely gory. And I remember saying to, because we were watching the film and I was like, the suspense and the tension is all over the place, because that's what happens with the soundtrack and also with like the colors, because it's like building like so much tension, and all of a sudden it's like that pop-up screen, it's gonna happen, and we're awkwardly looking at each other like we know it's gonna happen, then boom.
But it takes its time to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't follow the normal conforming, like those conforming ideas of like horror movies where build suspense, boom, pop-up scare. It was really
Build
like out of whack.
Build suspense, nothing's gonna happen then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, and I thought like when the pianist got attacked by the dog, that was
true.
Like
anything with doggo heartbreaking. Like, I mean, you knew it was coming, but just I wasn't ready.
I didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But also I like the fact that in this movie there's a mixture of males and females, versus in the second one it's literally
all girls,
all females.
True.
Apart from Dr. Clamp.
Yes, that's right. Which technically though still is a girl.
Well,
we'll talk about
spoiler.
that. Yeah, true that. Hashtag, we're going to talk about that in a moment.
Yes. So what are your, like, what did you like about this movie?
Well, 3 things. So I mentioned that contrast of color. Loved it because it's just so unsettling. You're just so uncomfortable, because not only like are you hearing like that pop synth putting you on edge, the colors are like putting you on edge, you've got all this tension being built. But what I really loved was that kind of psychological horror. So the maggots, my skin's just crawling thinking about it. That I remember I was sitting next to you and I was like, nope. I couldn't even look directly at the screen.
No.
So I really love that, because you're going back to that like old school like kind of horror like genre where they use little things like that to really get the audience on edge. And just overall, let's be honest, like most horror films, the plot wasn't on point. I mean, at one stage I was like, what is going on? I have no idea. But oh my God, and Jessica Harper, like her eyes, she's got the most biggest like and the most like doll-like eyes.
Yes.
And I remember half the time I was looking at Steph and I was like, just from her facial expressions, again, it just adds to that suspense, because she just looked so scared and frightened, and you couldn't help but just, and her like she would like do this thing where her eyes would just like completely dart around and be like frenzied. Oh, amazeballs.
And like the one thing that is completely different to the new one is Madame Blanc in the new one, in the old one. She doesn't seem like a dancer. She's got like a Miss Trunchbull vibe.
Yeah.
And her creepy grandson.
Ugh. Oh my God, I forgot about him. That creepy little kid, very like, oh, hello. Like, I don't know why I did that. He just gives off that like creepy little like page boy vibe.
Yeah.
And that awkward stare, like that. Oh, that's what I love, like that little, like that innocent kid, and like in that horror setting, and you know, like this is not okay. But going back to what you were saying, very true. She had a very like a bougie, like, you know, kind of Miss Trunchbull vibe. Like she was very strict, like don't talk to me.
But she didn't look like a dancer.
Yes, no, she didn't. She was just like, I'm in charge of this place. Listen to me. Go away. Very true. Good pick.
And the helper guy, that he was creepy as well.
Yeah, true. He
kind of looked like Frankenstein's monster a bit.
True. That's a very good point. Like very uncomfortable to look at.
Yeah. I
don't know if it was like, do you think they used prosthetics, or was that just the actor?
I have no idea.
Because I know in the new film, which we'll talk about in a moment, they talked about like prosthetics to like create that kind of look. But interesting overall.
Yeah. And I was talking to Andrew about this as well, that there's not that many horror films based on witches.
Yeah, you brought this up, and I was like, no, Steph, and then I started listing, and I could only come up with like 2. That's very good, like completely revolving around actual witches, like an idea of a coven, and not like just like, oh my God, hot witches and like, you know, their sexy little dresses,
or witches with pointy hats and moles and stuff like that.
Like it really went into kind of like the background of witches and like the magic and like the really dark side of it, which I really appreciated, because you don't really see that often. It kind of falls into those generic tropes of like that particular stereotypical view of witches that we have.
But like going back to this music,
yeah,
I've never heard anything like that before.
Oh, I know. You were playing that soundtrack all the time.
And yeah, I know. I was just like, listen to this. How creepy is it?
And I was like, can you not, please? Because it's really creepy.
Yeah, absolutely. But, and I like the ending. I like that it was a close, because I've only seen the first one. I've only seen Susperia. I
Yeah.
do want to watch the others, but I have no idea where to find them.
True.
Legally.
Okay. Leaving that content unnoted.
Like, I liked the ending that it ended with her killing everybody.
Yeah.
And studio, the dance company, up in flames, and her just walking away like,
it was
I'm
very
having the best day.
like poetic justice. It was very like, close the book, done and dusted. I
Yeah.
can walk away and I feel a little bit better about myself and like overall about this film. Whereas the second one didn't do that.
But let's not go into there just
Yes,
yet.
true, exactly, because that will happen in a moment. But overall, I think I really liked it, and I'm not a massive fan of like old school horror films. I know, don't shoot me. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just because like I've grown up watching like, you know, starting from 2000, so I'm used to having like those CGI effects. I'm used to like those pop-up
So
scares.
you're like, I know what you did last summer and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So, but I love this throwback, and I think it was because of everything just came together, and the reason why people still watch it till this day, it just meshed so well. The color, the music, the acting.
Some of the acting was quite funny
Yeah.
when Susie's unwell and she has a fainting spell.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Okay, explain. It's so funny.
So Susie's in bed and she's
Oh no,
collapsed.
Susie's. Oh yeah,
And
she is
then-
in bed. Yeah,
Yeah, and then one of the girls finds that the
Is it Sarah?
yeah
Yeah, Sarah.
So one of the girls Sarah finds out that it's a coven for witches.
Yeah,
and
shit's going down basically.
she's going down and she
Yeah.
tries to wake Susie, and Susie's flaring, just going, I'm
can't
so sleepy, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
I can't.
It's hilarious. And me and Steph have an inside joke now. Whenever she's like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, I can't do it. I'm so sleepy. Oh, you're dying. Oh, sorry. Talk to me in the morning. Your life is on the line. I'm just gonna have a 5-minute nap.
And also one thing that annoyed me about this movie was when Susie's walking down the hall and the old lady has a mirror that's flashing light in her eyes, and that she reacts too soon.
Oh,
And
yes.
it lights in my eyes, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's what makes it also good as well, because it's so bad that it's good. So
Yeah.
in a weird way, it's not as if like it makes it terrible to watch. If anything, the only thing that made it hard to watch was the dub. Because once I feel like it's like, you know, when the glass shatters, you notice it once and then it kind of ruins the film for you because you're just staring at their lips and watching for that
but
inconsistency.
also it was gory.
True, very
Like,
true.
it was gory
Yeah.
for its time.
Yeah.
And the fact that when the first girl dies and she's fallen and she gets hung,
Yeah.
and like her guts just get split out.
So good.
And also when one of the other girls tried to run away from the witches and she jumps.
Is that Patricia in the beginning?
No, I don't remember this girl's name.
Yeah.
But it takes, so she's locked the door, she's in a room, and somebody's trying to like open the latch, and it just takes
Oh
a
my
really
God.
long time. So she decides
Yeah.
to jump on boxes to jump out the window.
Yeah.
She's on the ledge and she has to jump to another building.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And she falls into barbed wire.
Oh, that was so good.
That was like, and then she's running and she's trying to gasp for air and trying not to die, and then the witch comes and just slits her throat and you just see it being slit. Fun fact though, with this, the character, you can see when the zooming in is quite close that there is no barb on the barbed wire.
Yes, I remember that came up. We're like, how is she getting cut?
But the actress didn't know how she was going to die during that time.
Yeah.
And so that is her real reactions to this, and that she was very cut, like literally.
Oh,
She was
okay.
cut.
I was like, emotionally?
she was cut pretty bad, and I thought that was quite interesting.
Wow, that is interesting. I thought it was one of those like directed things where we're going to try to get an authentic like reaction from you, so not letting you know.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you wouldn't want to be thrown into barbed wire
Yeah, not my ideal Friday night.
as an actress
100%.
as well.
Very true.
All right. So, how many reels do you give this out of 5?
Okay, in all honesty, like I said, I actually, the fact that I remembered scenes from it, in my opinion, I would give this 4 out of 5 reels. I actually really like this, I have to admit.
I had nightmares from this. I'm not a huge horror fan.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And I was on the edge of my seat going, what's going on? And
Exactly.
even though it is an older film,
Yeah. Oh, it holds up.
It still holds up.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it, a 4 as well.
Yeah, I just think everything meshed together well, like I said before. So it's not as if like one thing brought it down. Everything kind of just worked perfectly together. And yeah, it deserves its 4 out of 5 reels.
It's just once you notice little things, it kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah, I don't think you could watch it twice, like close to each other, like within like 2 weeks. But I reckon like it holds up and... Wow, good job, Dario.
Yeah, so it is rated R, and what do you think you got out of Rotten Tomatoes?
Out of 100%?
Yes.
I am going to guess and say... I'm feeling like a good, like maybe 85 to maybe 90%.
You're very close. It actually got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Even better. Not bad.
So, on that, let's move on to the second movie.
Drum roll.
For Susperia. This one is on Amazon. It is an Amazon original. This one is it is completely different to the original. All right, I'm going to tell you what the 2018 one is about. Susie Bannon is a young American ballerina who travels to Berlin to study dancing at the Marcos Tanz Company, one of the world's most renowned schools under Madame Blanc's management. On her very first day, one of the students goes missing, and you find out that she is murdered. This is not the first occurrence. This brilliant new student soon begins to suspect that the school might be involved in homicide. Her mistrust heightens when Sarah, one of the girls at the school, tells her that Pat, before being killed, confided in her she knew a guarded, terrifying, dark secret.
Ooh.
This one is different in the fact that it's dark, it's dank. It has not many colours compared to the original.
Very true. Whereas the original was all like those bright, unsettling colours, this one had a very like kind of bleak, sepia toned, very like grey tones, brown tones. It kind of gave you that bleak horror movie setting, which was good because again, it's setting that tension, creating that suspense. They're using like the cinematography in a completely different way. But I just wanted to mention first, Tilda Swinton
is amazing.
Oh my god, Chloe Grace Moretz is in this. We've also got Dakota Johnson and Steph, one of Steph's favorite directors.
Yes, so the reason why I actually watched this one before I even knew that it was a remake, because I really like the director Luca Guadagnino.
Oh, I wonder why. Is it because he maybe just happened to film one of your all-time favorite films?
So Luca Guadagnino is known for directing Call Me By Your Name. He's also in A Bigger Splash and I Am Love. He does like to work with the same actors. So A Bigger Splash and I Am Love has Tilda Swinton in it. And A Bigger Splash has also Dakota Johnson. Yeah. I'm always getting her and Dakota Fanning mixed up.
Always happens.
So I made you watch this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this artsy-fartsy movie?
But it was artsy-fartsy in the best way possible because...
And then I watched it again to prepare for this podcast. And I actually enjoyed it a lot more the second time around. Once I... watched the first one and I knew what it was about. Yeah. Because I think this movie is a little bit too long. It's almost 2.5 hours.
Yes. And I think I was watching something because, first of all, with your artistic films, because they try to cram so much in, there's so much to analyze. And I think as well, they tried to really incorporate the context of what was happening in Berlin during that time historically. So I think it kind of took away from the plot. I feel like what Luca was trying to do is give you more substance, more information as to what was happening in the background of the film. Because like historically, it was quite horrific what was happening during that time as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I can see where you're coming from, where it just got too much. It was too involved a little bit in terms of the plot and the storyline. And instead of adding, I feel like it kind of took away from that main plot and the main suspense and tension of what was happening in the dance academy.
And I feel like almost, 2.5 hours is too long to sit there and watch. I mean, I say that, but I mean, I watched Avengers Endgame, which is 3 hours. Yeah. More than once. But also this one, the music is by Radiohead's Tom York. And again, it was quite creepy as well.
Very creepy.
But I like the way that Luca did the camera work to make it look like it was an older film as well.
Yes, so he was playing kind of homage to like our old 77 film as well, which is really quite good because, again, 97% on like Rotten Tomatoes, proves that point itself, where how do you fix something that's not broken? How do you do justice to this film?
Also, he's not a horror director.
Yes, true.
He's known to make romances.
Artsy-fartsy films.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And actually, Dakota Johnson, most people would know her for the 50 Shades of Grey films.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of those films at all. Worst written books in the whole entire world.
Didn't even watch them, didn't even read them.
Don't bother. But she's actually a great actress.
She was amazing in this film. And in particular, that one scene, which if you've watched this film, I'm sure that this is the one scene that I will never forget, that horrific
dancing.
With Olga. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm like a lover of horror films, but till this day it gives me goosebumps and it gives me nightmares.
The way that like her jaw breaks and the crunch and all of the sounds and her like insides.
Yeah. The way it was intercut though. So going back to Dakota Johnson being an amazing actress, like her like dancing in this film was amazing. I can just imagine how much practice, like the way that she contorted her body and in the scenes with like her breathing, and it would intercut to the scenes where Olga was, being contorted and like grotesquely basically murdered. And so you would go in between these moments of like Dakota dancing and then the character of Olga just being, killed basically. And it just kept building
Tortured.
and building and building, and to the point where, at a certain stage it was very realistic because, she's like, at one stage she like pisses herself.
Yeah.
Because like, your arm is broken, flung over.
Your leg's broken, your insides are coming out.
It was so good. Just, you know what? Watch the film just for that scene. If you're a horror movie buff, you need to see that scene. It is amazingly directed.
I was reading or watching an interview with Luca and Dakota and Tilda, and that they were saying that they actually went to Germany to film this, and that it was cold and it was in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And that when they were dancing, the rooms that they were in were so cold that they still had to do it barefoot. They still, like the amount of pressure that they would have been in, and it's just
so well done.
So well done, and I applaud them for this.
Oh, and you know what? Speaking of the pressure, because we were talking about this before and wanted to bring it up, and I think we just mentioned it previously, the prosthetics.
Yes.
So you take over because you wanted to bring this up, and then I'll do my little quip-ins.
Yeah, well, the prosthetics, I like the fact that they use that other than CGI and things like that. I mean, there was CGI in Olga's arm and leg.
Yes.
Where they used a prosthetic arm and leg and jaw. Yep. But that's also a great homage as well in the fact that it didn't want to
rely on CGI like
CGI
all the
and
time
brought
to
it
get
back
those effects.
to being an old school film.
Yeah.
And Tilda Swinton is amazing.
Oh my god, like 3 different characters.
That's right. She plays 3 different characters. So she plays Dame Blanc. She also plays the mother Marcos. And surprisingly, she actually also plays the psychiatrist.
Oh, the creepy old dude. Oh, he's an old dude. He gets slightly creepier.
The psychiatrist, Dr. Klemper.
Yes. I was shook when you told me. I knew, like, I kind of had a feeling with the mother Marcos because you told me about that after. But when you mentioned her being the psychiatrist, I wasn't ready.
Well, did you play Dr. Klemper? And she goes, no, that's done by Lutz Eberdorf, who's actually a made-up person. It's just throw people off.
So good.
And when at the end, when Susie gives mercy to those who believed in Marcos, you just see Dr. Klemper on the floor, naked. You're just like, that's so creepy. But it's even more creepier because it's a naked old man, but it's also Tilda Swinton.
Exactly.
And the endings are completely different.
Yeah, that was really interesting. So I like it again because it's very Luca, I think, because he's very artistic, leave you kind of questioning, because in my way, in a horror movie kind of style, when you walk away without all of your questions, without all like the loose ends being tied up, it kind of adds to that horrific feeling of like, oh my goodness, like you're still feeling that unease, like nothing's closed up, you're walking away kind of with that still that creepy vibe within. But yeah, so tell us, how did they end Susperia in the 2018
with
version?
the new one, you find out that Susie has the power of Mother Suspirium, and she gives mercy to Olga and Patricia by all they want to do is die, and so she gives them mercy and kills them because their souls are trapped and their bodies are still trapped. Even though they've been tortured and things, you just see them.
It's horrific. But I love her, like, you know, powerful moment, because the whole time they're basically prepping her, you know, for her body to be the new vessel for Mother Marcos. But then she has her own, like, surprise bitch moment where she's like, I'm the new mother in the house. And then she just, one by one, just, like, takes out all the others who are in support of her. And then she's this new, powerful leader of the coven now.
Yeah.
So it was amazing in that way to see how she kind of played them, really, and, you know, at their own game.
What I want to know is, did Mother Marcos die? Because you see Tilda Swinton, like, her head get chopped.
Oh, yeah.
She's breathing till the very end. She's still breathing. You're like, she gives mercy to Dr. Klemper because his wife, Anke, you don't know till the very end. She's trying to get back to him.
Yes.
And that he thinks that she made it past Germany and that she's living her own life now and she can never go back to him. But you find out, so Dr. Klemper is on his deathbed. Susie comes in and is like, look, I'm really sorry, but she didn't make it.
Yeah, she ended up in that concentration camp.
She ended up in a concentration camp and was killed.
Yeah. But her final, like, gift of mercy was to give him that seizure that eliminated that memory so he could technically, like, die in peace.
That's right. So once he found out, it was just heartbreaking. And then she took the memory of that away. But funnily enough, Anke is actually played by Jessica Harper.
Original Susie
from the Susperia. So that's pretty cool.
Again, playing, like, homage, or not playing, paying homage to the OG movie.
Yeah.
That's, like, such a Luca thing to do. Like, there's beautiful little touches and just, overall, this movie was...
What did you think about the movie was set up in acts, though?
Oh, that's a good point. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know what? In all honesty, while I was watching it, it kind of does confuse you slightly. But then again, look, I'm, like, an English teacher, so for me it was like, I kind of enjoyed it because I was like, ooh, acts. So it's kind of like creating those separate portions of the film itself, but then kind of tying it together because it helps you just see the separate parts of the film. Overall, though, to someone who's, like, not really into all that, like, you know, little bits and pieces,
I just went, oh, okay, the act's about to start. I can pause it,
snack
go to the
break.
bathroom. Or whatever,
exactly. I think overall the film, in terms of consistency, could have not done with the acts. I feel like it would have been a better flow to the whole movie itself and, you know, building that tension throughout without the acts. But I'm pretty sure if we look deeper into it, it, you know, added some, you know, extra layer of depth to the actual film itself. But you know what? I trust in Luca. He knows what he's doing, so probably had a good reason to be in there. Who are we to judge?
So
actually, we are.
Actually, we are.
We're full on judging.
So, what do you give this film out of 5 reels?
Look, it is a remake, and I always say don't fix what's not broken, but I feel like they did an amazing job. Again, like, the acting was fantastic, the soundtrack was great, I loved, like, you know, the color contrast. The only thing, again, like I said before, that really downplayed it for me was that they just try to do too much with the plot. We could have done without the context. I'm going to give it a good solid maybe 3.5 out of 5.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to give it to.
Yeah, because, I mean, the original is the original and a classic for a reason. Not to say that Luca didn't do an amazing job. It was just missing that little certain something, that little like panache that the original
the cherry
had.
on top.
Exactly. I need a bit more sprinkles.
I basically I 100% agree with you.
Oh my God, stop it. Are we, like, giving the same for everything? A bastards. High five.
So what do you think that this one got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say somewhere between 70 to 80%, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it 66%.
Oh, I can see that. I can see it because of the lengthy time, and again with the plot. In all honesty, again, if you're not a fan of Luca, and if you're not a fan of the original movie, watching it would have been a bit of a mission, like persevering. But, you know, I can see that. Yeah. And it's a bit harsh, but I can see that.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this is listed as R-rated. However, it is MA15 here in Australia because we've got different ratings.
Yeah. Straya.
Hashtag
Straya.
Hashtag Straya.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our next section, which is
Nerdaissance, nerdy notables.
Ange would be proud that I got that one correct.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so speaking of Luca and
Yes.
oh
my gosh, she has been dying to bring this up.
Timothy Chalamet is coming to Australia.
And she has completely freaked the fudge out.
I really have, because he's going to be in Sydney on the 10th of October.
Yes.
Me and some other people are going to go to the cinema and go to the premiere and store.
Q&A hopefully as well.
And then the next day, they've got a Q&A with the new Netflix film, The King.
Yes, that looks so good. Because also history teachers, so like, I'm like, oh, stop
Yeah,
it.
the King has also got Joel Edgerton. It's got Lily Rose Depp and Twilight the Vampire. What's his name?
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what though? I mean, he gets a lot of shit, but if you realize in the trailer, his presence is like so big in it, but he doesn't say a single word. So, you know what?
In the trailer, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give him a clean slate because I feel like he gets a lot of like hate for the Twilight films,
Yes.
but I'm going to judge him from this performance.
I actually don't mind him as an actor outside of Twilight.
Oh, how so very like nice of you.
I'm also really looking forward to his new movie, The Lighthouse, with William Dafoe as well.
William Dafoe like just overhit that face though, like in a good way, guys. Don't
Really?
judge me. No, he's got like I will never forget him from Spider-Man, like the the best Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Really?
No jokes.
I was gonna say.
I like
don't
you
know
just
if we
like
could
the
be
look,
friends.
the scathing look she just gave me, like get out of my house.
No, The Lighthouse is a black and white film, and it's shot on a 70mm, so it's got like the black sides, and it's looks like it's like
But William Dafoe, just going back, like has the creepiest face ever.
I thought you were gonna say he's like super good looking. I'm just like,
no, the
excuse me?
creepiest face. Like, oh my god, I just haven't seen an actor who's able just to do a smile and just make you want to run in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a bolt for your
absolutely. I understand. And also, there's a new Armie Hammer movie coming out in
the
October.
Wounds. Oh,
again with
wounds, not the wounds. My bad.
with Dakota Johnson as well.
Oh, you know what? After Susperia, I'm actually really looking forward. Like Dakota Johnson was really good in Susperia, so I'm actually like Armie Hammer for you. Call me by
Oh my
your name.
goodness, Armie Hammer is a babe.
Yeah, let's not get her started because this podcast is going to turn to a Call Me by Your Name fan fest. I want to mention one thing.
Yes, please.
So there's going to be an extended marathon of Lord of the Rings.
I know, and you're dragging me to it.
Prepare your soul, your body, because it is gonna go down.
I actually haven't seen all of Lord of the Rings.
Excuse me, everybody. This is me getting up and leaving immediately. What do you mean?
I think I've only seen the first two. I don't know.
Well, prepare to be educated.
I know, we're going to see all of them together.
Can you imagine the Battle of Helm's Deep on the big screen again? So I wish there was like this Gandalf stuff. I wanted to like dress up. No, it's too much. Okay, I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. Bring it back in. So that's what we have planned.
Yeah, so, and next month we are doing Child's Play.
Yeah. Oh, well, you and Anja.
Me and Ange, sorry.
Sup, guys? This was just a guest appearance.
So they're two movies that I'm really keen about.
Yeah. The remake. See, I don't know what's going on with all these remakes.
Back to that. I'm really excited about The King.
Oh,
and,
The King, yeah, fair.
Wounds.
I thought you said for Child's Play for a second. I was like, girl, what?
I'm holding off Child's Play. I'm actually really scared.
In a weird way, like I'm happy that like horror movies are finally getting their moment, but also I'm just like, guys, let's make some originals. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving the remakes, but like, do we have to literally remake every single one?
Hollywood's running out of ideas.
Yeah, Hollywood. It's time to get like some new screenwriters in. It's time to like shake it up.
Yeah, even like watching the trailer for Wounds, it looks like The Ring and The Grudge kind of combined.
And Split as well, like combined.
Yeah,
and we were talking about that literally just the other day because we were watching it together because we're like, oh my god, I need to watch it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm waiting for like that new horror film that's completely just like a brand new concept. Because I feel like it's been a while since we've seen something like that. I'm
actually kind of excited to see the chemistry between Armie Hammer and Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Because the rumors are that in the second Call Me By Your Name, that they're actually playing husband and wife.
Was that Dakota Fanning or Johnson?
Dakota Johnson.
Oh, really? It is Johnson.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I say Fanning?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
Fanning. Johnson Fanning. Who knows?
Yeah, one's blonde, one's not.
No, I think they're both blonde.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to see what their chemistry is like.
True. And also like the overall film. It looks really good. It looks
Bugs
really
and
good.
stuff scare me.
Oh, I hate freaking bugs so much.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what's freaking me out
That
about it
maggot,
as well.
that's why I was saying like in the original, like the first one, the maggots. Oh, gross.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Whereas I was showing the trailer for this for Ange, and she's like, it looks like every other scary movie. And I'm like, but no, it looks
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, if anybody wants to follow you on the socials, how can they follow you?
Oh,
Ange?
yes. Plug.
Shameless plug.
So I'm on Instagram at Mazlali. So MAZLALEE. Follow. I shall follow back.
And if you enjoy our show, please leave us a review on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify. You can also listen to us there. We are on most places you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
The book face.
The Book Face. Until next time.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.